Already I told about sedentary activity. What is the definition of sedentary activity? Second topic is about the exercise, about walking, and what exactly how much we have to do the walk and all. That is the part one. This is the last and final. That is from sedentary state to walking, from walking step to now. What are the age groups and how to interpret it? For everything, the people are confusing with the preventive aspects of treatment part. For every lifestyle modifications are either with the diet or exercise, with these two, and a good sleep of 8 hours and 7 p.m. last dinner, intermittent fasting, and with a low amount of carbohydrate diet, if we can continue for a period of more than 6 years. Any study that is there in the world, there are all the lifestyle modifications are there for 5 years. Anything more than 5 years only will be working. Most of the time we see after 90 days, majority of the people, they don't follow the lifestyle modifications. And majority of the time the problem is these all the studies that are there are meant for preventive age between 25 to 35 years and below 50 years. So they start the lifestyle modification, we can prevent the diabetes and obesity. Whereas some are becoming over enthusiastic and interpreting the intermittent fasting, exercise, diet, and combining it as a treatment also. There we have to be a little careful. So now there are 4 types of people that we see when you go to the park. That is, group 1 are young age 25 years old female without any disease of diabetes or obesity, no insulin resistance, no obesity, non-hypertensive, no cardiac disease. These are the young age group below female or male. Second group are 35 years age. By the time 35 years of age is there, most of the females, there will be some amount of obesity, but they are not yet diabetic. Next is 45 years age group. Here already they are obese, insulin resistance has set in, they will be pre-diabetic or diabetic. Next is the 55-year age group. Here they are obese, they have insulin resistance and also overt diabetes, full-blown diabetes is there. Last group is the 75 age group. Here this age group have not only diabetes, hypertension, but also organ damage like coronary artery disease or brain or renal injury. Across all these stages, one thing that is common is whenever you increase the physical activity, definitely there is a improvement. So this is the first age group that we come at 25 years of age. Here they don't have any obesity, non-diabetic, no insulin, no cardiac problem. Here the goal is to prevent the onset of obesity and diabetes in a young female. Here, if they walk 10,000 steps per day, that is consistently for more than 3 years, the incidence of diabetes and obesity will come down. Second is the 35 years age group. Here the women or men will be there. These are the easiest segment that will be there. They have very limited amount of time and they are already in the office jobs and there will be a sedentary activity, and by this time amount of obesity will be there. So here the waist circumference is more than 85 centimeters, and if the sedentary activity is there, that the jobs that are doing nowadays are receptionist, accountants, software and long haul drivers. These people, they come under sedentary jobs. That is a job wherein you are working for more than 6 hours. It is a sedentary job. All sitting jobs, they come under sedentary jobs. In a lifting less than 10 pounds, then also it comes as sedentary job. And here the domain of the physical activity is very important. That is, when they fold out all the work that you do at home and in the office, that is the domain. Next is the transport domain, that is how you travel to your office. Fourth is leisure time activity. All these 4 domains will be there. Out of this, the work domain at the office and at the home, whatever activity you do, they are not able to give much result and prevent diabetes or obesity. Where here, because of the long hours of sitting together for a long time, there are microvascular changes are happening at the muscle level. So slowly the muscle will be not able to reach the maximum amount of activity, and insulin resistance increases, both with microvascular damage and insulin resistance. The thing is, you will get into the dyslipidemia, triglycerides will go up, or high insulin levels will be there, which produces obesity. So, every sedentary activity, there should be some break whenever you get a chance of 2 hours once. You have to get up from your sitting chair. Next is the 45 age group. Here in the 45 age group, by this time they have obesity as well as insulin resistance will be developing. Here every day compulsory 10,000 steps must be reached. By reaching 10,000 steps per day, you are consuming 500 calories per day. At the same time, if you can limit your diet by reducing 500 calories per day, on average you will be gaining 500 calories per day. In a week 3,500, and 15 days you will be getting 7,500 calories, by which 1 kg can be lost. For every 1 kg of weight loss, our abdomen waist circumference comes by 1 inch, and every 1 inch reduction in the waist circumference reduces the insulin resistance and HbA1c, and HbA1c comes down by 0.2%. So here 10,000 steps are compulsory for the above the age of 45 years, and for obese, that is when for every Indian, if the waist circumference is more than 85 centimeter, then they all come under high risk group. If the sedentary activities wherein you carry less than 10 pounds, and all house activities, kitchen activities, and house bed making, and all they come under 0 calories. Similarly, in the physical office, whatever you work and move around in your office, they come under 0 calories. But if you are sitting for more than 120 minutes also, it comes under 0 calories. Sedentary office work should not be more than 6 hours. Not only they have, slowly they develop muscular, the oxygen demand of the muscle as well as the oxygen uptake and oxygen consumption of the muscle come down, and submaximal exercise threshold is reached, and slowly they become inertia, and they can't, whenever they do at a high level of exercise, immediately they feel the pain. So this is called as exercise threshold. Low exercise threshold is seen in office people who are working for more than 6 hours sitting. So at the age of 55, by this time, already the obesity is there, and waist circumference is more than 85 centimeter, sleep disturbance will be there, and there will be diabetes maybe already has started, and there will be complications. These people, not only with the 10,000 steps, they must also increase minimum moderate to vigorous physical activity for 30 minutes, and weekly 2 times they must do a vigorous activity. Vigorous activity means swimming and jogging with the minimum 20 minutes for 2 times per week. Along with that, they must also do REX, that is resistance exercise, 20 minutes per day, like that for 2 times per week. So above the age of 50 years, they have to be more careful. The chance of getting their full-blown diabetes will be there. Most of the females, they have the waist circumference more than 85 centimeters, and the exercise threshold very poor. The oxygen, they don't reach the amount of oxygen levels that are to be reached for the muscle to take up the glucose inside. So the insulin resistance will be very high, and sensitivity will be coming down. Unless we reach the VO2 max, the muscle will not, the muscle insulin resistance and the insulin sensitivity will not change. Next is the 75 age group. This is the last age group where they have diabetes, and the waist circumference is more than 85 centimeters, so obesity is there, and also they have either organ, cardiac or renal, or there will be structural changes in the brain. The chance of getting a dementia are very high. Here the important exercise is balance is very important. Every day I must do balance exercise, and arthritis or joint disorders will be there. So stretch exercise is very important in this age group. Third most important is above the age of 70 years. What they found was if they walk in the evening, the blood sugars are well controlled, and post until after 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. after lunch, if they walk, the blood sugars are well controlled, and before you eat, if you can walk for 5 to 10 minutes, the post blood sugar rise will be very less. So here in this age group, we don't advise moderate to vigorous physical activity or vigorous activity like jogging and swimming, but even with a small amount of movement also, the blood sugars are well controlled, And the important is frequency. 3 times they have to walk at the age of 75 years, and they should maintain the intensity of 120 steps per minute. And the duration should not be more than 90 minutes totally. So, in a short 10 minutes, I am able to explain to you. There are 4 age groups, and you first of all know where you are. Do you belong to the 25 age group or 35 with waist circumference more than 85 centimeters, or waist circumference 85 centimeters more, obesity is there, with insulin resistance is there. So everyone must get fasting insulin, fasting triglycerides, triglyceride to glucose index, and see peptide levels. Without these investigations, don't start your exercise model, and without reaching the exact amount of the exercise threshold, the insulin sensitivity will not come down. As long as the insulin sensitivity doesn't come down, the reach of prevention and reduction of diabetes will not happen. Moreover, we can develop into multiple complications like lactic acidosis and ketoacidosis. And if you mix up everything with fasting and all, and without plan, without exact guidance, if you start all these things and mix up with vigorous activity, the problem is with vigorous activity, the tendon damage is very high, and injury to the structure also is very high. So the thing is, take home points up. Everyone must have 10,000 steps they must walk. Vigorous activities, 20 minutes like jogging or swimming, weekly 2 times compulsory. Stretch exercise is compulsory, and balance is also important. More than that, in addition to 10,000 steps, if you can do moderate to vigorous physical activity like brisk walking more than 120 steps per minute, then the chances of reducing the HbA1c, increasing the insulin sensitivity, reducing insulin resistance are very high. And the markers should be not HbA1c, not blood sugar, but the waist circumference. And second is insulin resistance, HOMA-IR. Thank you. Only when they maintain the 10,000 steps, weekly 2 times vigorous activity like swimming or jogging, every day 30 minutes of brisk walking, more than 120 steps per minute, and resistant exercise like tubing and planks or weightlifting 2 times per day, 2 times per week, along with the strict exercises with high intensity exercise and sprint interval exercises. When you combine all these 5 only, then only you can, our HbA1c will come down, muscular insulin sensitivity increase, our insulin requirement will come down, waist circumference will come down, and finally the HbA1c will reduce by 0.3%, and the chance of getting diabetes or the requirement of insulin, the requirement of tablets will come down. This must be maintained.